So hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, July 8th, 2023, and we're here at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for a 2-hour live sew and chat. Today we're going to be working on the Brightly quilt. We're going to be actually working on this top block, which is basically squares and rectangles up here, making 9 patches. That's the goal, or making pieces. Who knows how much sewing I get done on the sewing chats. I've got all of my pieces here in the box, and we're just waiting for people to get notifications that I'm here. I saw that from last week where I had made a pinned post. I thought that they would delete it on YouTube, but I see it was still sitting there, so I'm hoping that people come in. If not, it'll just be a few of us tonight. So the block I'm trying to make is from these pieces here. So we'll just take this stack out and put the box back. This pattern is by Cluck Sew, called Brightly again, and it is a for sale pattern. You can also go watch Missouri Star Quilt Company if you're looking for actual cutting information on this. And I did change mine up, so I'm going to talk about that today as well. Just waiting for people to get notifications and to come into the chat. Let's see. We got Jeff Galania. Wait a minute. Galania. No, it's Galonia. I'm already tripping. All right, here we go. I just woke up about an hour ago from a nap, and I was watching YouTube videos, so I thought I was awake, but I haven't talked to anybody, so apparently not. Patricia Priest is here. Zandra, Beverly Akins, Like So Like That, Nikki B, Betsy Layton, Kathy Klein, Sue GSD, T. Roberts, Melody Kiefer, Bernita Nance, Sheila Willis, Igna Botch, Sharon Lewis. Sue says it's 353 days until our favorite retreat in the universe. So now, it's less than a year. So I really got to start paying attention to you now, Sue. When you started 2 years out, I'm like, Sue can post whatever she wants. Now I'm paying attention. Lois Phelps is here from Kansas, from Olathe, Kansas. Cynthia Field saying that she hasn't been on for a while. She has no sight in left eye, so hopefully I can sew soon. Oh my goodness, prayers for you. Linda Denton is here. Cynthia's also reminding people to hit the thumbs up. Sivarita James is here. Phyllis G. D. Branson. Hello from Donette. Joe Carmel is here. She must be off today. Saying, hey, Miss T and all T Quilters. Jason Lewis. Hey, good evening and happy Saturday, Miss T, and to the best group of quilters on the planet. Exactly. Judy is here. Jeff took a free motion class, said it was fun. Mona Dear Wood is here. And got Sue messing with Benita to buy hello. I think it's the 2017 subscriber of the year, if I got the year right. All right. So Let me just take this down so I don't have to move my board. When I know I'm gonna have something on a board, on a design board for a long time, I just put a couple of pins in it just to make sure everything is staying where it's supposed to stay. So this is our block here for today. Very simple block. It's actually a little bit more complicated. It should be 2 squares where I'm putting rectangles instead. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to sew 2 squares together to end up with a rectangle. I've already made this quilt once, so I'm making it for a second time for my cousin who asked for this. So it's a second cousin. No, it's a first cousin. She's just younger. I keep messing up who she is because of her age. But it's for a cousin. And yeah, I didn't want to add the second seam here. It serves no purpose. I I don't know. It serves no purpose for me. So I'm just going to, I like it on my quilt, but it was my quilt. I think on a commission quilt, it's not going to make much difference. They're not going to notice the difference. They don't sew. So I just decided to eliminate that step. So I have eliminated, let's see, 60 seams by doing this. So this is what I've cut instead of cutting and putting in 2 squares. So that's what we're working on. So our first sewing step is just going to be sewing 2 rectangles together. If you have purchased and it's going by what the Brightly pattern says, then you're going to be first sewing 2 squares together and then sewing your squares to your background fabric. And in this case, green is my background fabric. It just so happened that when I made my quilt, my cousin's favorite colors is this color green, which I did not know, and this burgundy, which I'll have to take the second block off anyway, huh? And this dark burgundy color. And I had no idea that these 2 colors, this color and this, were her favorite colors. So when I made it, she wanted to buy the quilt. I sold a few kits of this because I had some people, I can't remember how many now, maybe it was less than 10, want to buy this kit. So I did cut kits and I sold them at the time. I'm not doing that right now. But I had cut a kit, set it aside for her, and then I went to a quilt guild like maybe September of last year or something, and somebody saw it and said, I want that. I didn't even have the kit there, and I'm like, I don't really want to make this quilt again. I'll make something else for my cousin. What did I do? I sold the kit. So I had to go back and recut this out so that I could do my cousins, because I'm like, if somebody is paying for a commission quilt, you can't tell them what you're gonna make and not gonna make. You just need to make the quilt, Teajuana. But I did make a few um seam adjustments in here. And then since this on mine, I have about 10, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 of my stars are this color. And then I went, and to make my quilt a little bit more interesting, I picked about 5 or 6 other colors, and I got just 1 star in each of those particular colors. And it looks really cute. But since this is her favorite color, I decided to cut all of her stars out of this one fabric, which is what the pattern tells you to do also. But normally when I make my stuff, I kind of make adjustments and do what I want to do. So just letting you all know that, you can do it either way you want. So let's see who else has come in. um, Sivarita says she finished binding on a quilt this morning. So that's always awesome when you get to that final step. Angela Lewis is here. She's not talking to us. Vanessa Brown is here. Joe Carmel said, yeah, she's off work and working on her boho. Get it done, girl. Tamar Griffin's here saying, greetings, T and fellow quilters. Cynthia Shade, hello from rainy and cold Chicago. Girl, your people were here for a line dance event. I went out to lunch, my daughter, my niece, and my grandbaby went and met one of the line dancers, and then my daughter went to meet a few more. But we went out to lunch. It was really nice. Kenneth Shaw saying hi, everyone. Mona is just listening and sewing, so that's good. That's being productive. Rebecca T is here. Sue says Saturday night at 8. I'm in my happy place. Here for the fun. Says hi from Central Indiana. And Vivian Calvi made it in saying hi to you and everyone. So thank you everybody for showing up. Hopefully Remo will be in here putting a reminder for you all to hit the thumbs up button so I can pin it. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button for me. Also subscribe to the channel if you are not. So first, I got these cards up here. I had a couple of what I'm assuming to be are birthday cards. Yeah, this is Ingrid Bowers, and then I've got Don Cunningham. So let me put them into the drawing just so that I can get this out the way. I thought I might have. So I'm just going to put their names on here and keep them here attached so I don't lose the small piece. So, see, Don Cunningham. I guess we popping fireworks tonight. That was out the blue. They have not done that since the holiday anyway. Ingrid Bowers. So I got those two, and I'm going to leave them attached for right now. And got the bag right here to slide everything in. If you want to know what the cards are for, what I'm putting in here into this drawing is for the Teaquilts birthday bash. My birthday is July 28th. And I am on July 26th, which is my normal Wednesday night sewing chat, probably going to be more than an hour. I am giving away 10 gifts to regular tea quilters who have sent me a birthday card. If you want to send a birthday card, the email address is listed down below in the description of all of my videos. That's how you enter the drawing. There are a couple other ways you can get into the drawing. We'll talk about that, during the live, because it doesn't need to be done in advance. So, yeah, 10 gifts will be giving away. Wednesday, a week and a half ago, I showed those gifts, and I have sorted those gifts. And I actually have 12 bags, but like I told you all, I'm only mailing out 10 to the regular channel YouTube subscribers of Teaquilts, and then I'm going to do 3 for the boho heart. So total, I'll be mailing out 13 packages, although I have 15 since I'm paying for the shipping. I decided 10 is enough shipping for me to pay for sending items priority mail. So just it's about 2.5 weeks, I guess, until we do the drawing. So if you know, we're still having some difficulty from some areas getting mail. So if you want to be put into the drawing, please go ahead and send your cards out early. That's what a lot of people are doing. That's what those are for. So otherwise, I am now just sewing 2 rectangles together. You would be sewing 2 squares if you're doing the square method, which is the normal way. 2 squares together and then sewing it to a rectangle background piece. Again, green is my background. It's a little bit weird, but I love my quilt and I'm not selling it. And I want to keep it, so when I do when I'm selling vending, I've got stuff to hang in my booth. So let's see who else has come in. think the last person I said was Vivian Calvi. Quilt Gals here said just listening. Reminding people also to hit the thumbs up. So thank you. Melina Montoya is here. T says she's hit the thumbs up. So thank you. Hey, Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life is here saying hello. And Jeff talking about the fireworks going off nonstop all week. I've had like on the front, I'm on the back side of my house, and on the front side of my house, I've had them going off, but never in the back. And Jason saying the same thing. On the south side, he's had issues. They've been going off. Yep. I don't know where people get so much money to spend on stuff. I guess, I guess one of the main attractions is fire, the elements. People love that. So I guess that's their way of taking care of some stuff. So I was up late last night and then got up early this morning so I could process orders and then go to brunch. My husband was nice and went and did the post office run, so I didn't have to actually go to the post office myself. So that was good. But I had to make patterns. I had people, when I did the trip around the scrap basket pattern, some people were adding other patterns to their orders, and I had some patterns made, and I had to go and make 2 other patterns. And one of them, I found out that I don't know whether let me back up and tell you all how I do my patterns, because it makes a lot more sense. And Jeff says she's meaning P.O. box, not email address. Right. I said send me a card, a physical card. Remo is here. Thank you. I've been waiting on you to come in so I can pin your message, girl. Saying good evening, Miss TNT Quilters. Thumbs up, show your love and support, and subscribe. You won't be disappointed. That's what she means, but I'm going to pin that because I didn't get in here in enough time. And Darcy, my normal person, she's not in here tonight. She's my main thumbs up subscriber. Moderator. She is a subscriber. Let me get caught up on these. Hold on. Shirley Lullabuck is here. Celia Swain. Says she's taking a break from grandma duty. He finally fell asleep. Yes, Lord, I understand. Jill Lingerfeld, thumbs up. Thank you. Hi, Jill. Welcome to the channel. I don't remember your name. Tom Eckery is here, reminding people to hit that thumbs up for Miss T. Hey, Tom. I've been fortunate fireworks only on the 4th. That's from T. Erling Butler is here on vacation in Richmond, Virginia. So that's cool. So she's just in for a minute. Remo say, don't give up your secrets. Oh, I was finna tell about the patterns. Okay, Remo. But anyway, I lost the instructions for one of the patterns, the digital file. I see where I made the pattern, like I see it in Electric Quilt where I made it. I cannot find the actual pattern. So this is the second time somebody has purchased that pattern, and I'm making it from a copy. And one of the secrets I'm saying is when you get a pattern from Teaquilts, it's a worthwhile pattern when it's coming to you in the mail. It's a lot of things. My patterns are detailed, well written as well. However, all my patterns are printed on a laser printer. I don't copy anything. I found even when I go to the copiers and you're paying for color copies and they have lines in them, even my copier, when I'm making copies, if I folded the paper, and that's the problem I'm having, is I have one pattern that I always have on display. That I'm using it and just making copies, and I let people know. But where you fold it, it's gonna have the fold line showing through from being copied. So I need to retype that pattern. I have looked everywhere for the file. I don't know which one of my computers over the years, because it's an older pattern, has eaten my file, but it is gone. And my low bobbin light is coming on, so we have that to deal with soon. But I found I can sew quite a bit, and I do like the fact that this machine will let me sew and it will stop sewing, so I won't air sew. So yeah, so that's what's going on with that. So we're just sewing these pieces together. So I have my patterns are not made off something that if it gets a little bit wet on the paper and your ink smears, it's not going to do that with my patterns. They're all laser printed. I guess for me, starting off my main work as a secretary, I know the difference in quality and stuff like that. I also use a better paper than just regular copy paper. I use a little heavier weight paper. So Helena Carter came in. Shaquita Pearson. Thank you, Jason. He says, hey, friends, if you like all the beautiful trip around the scrap basket quilts you are seeing in the Teaquilts Facebook group, the pattern is for sale. Just email T at teaquilts@teaquilts.com. Anytime you're typing links into the chat, you can't type the actual link, so you have to take out all spaces. Also, it's listed on my website as well. This one, I don't know which one is bigger or smaller. Ain't that something? I got a piece. I'm just going to spread it evenly. You know how sometimes your piece just a little bit small, but you can take it up in your piecing? I'll cut my piece anyway because I know I can do that when I piece the two pieces together. Every once in a while, I see that. Kevin the Quilter is here. Hey, Kevin. Saying, hey, Miss T and all T Quilters. Newer to the channel here, or at least for a couple of weeks. From the pride of the heartland of America of East Central Missouri, I am Kevin the Quilter. Oh, my God. It's going to be one of those kind of days. It's something else. Oh my. And see Jason already getting on them. Oh my goodness. And Joe Cormier talking about welcome to the channel. Oh God. Here we go. Kevin said he's sewing the last seam of his boho heart. Hallelujah. Yes. They want those Ginger snips. That's what they want. They working on them now. They want those Ginger snips. Pearl Medina is here from Moreno Valley, California. Welcome, welcome. I must have had a stack of 6 or so that got cut crooked or something. But we gonna work it out. we're gonna work it out. Now that one fit perfectly, so now we should be back on track. You know, sometimes you put stuff on the die board, and all the time I don't worry about it being length of grain because I know how to make adjustments when I'm sewing. So that must have been what that stack was. I had a stack that I couldn't put the length of grain going the opposite direction. So then I'll do something else. I'll make it work in the sewing. I think I'm caught up on the sewing. Also, don't forget that the boho hearts drawing, you need to have your pictures in there. I would say guarantee you have it in there by July 25th. There is a featured post telling you where to put your photo. It's a link to the photo group. Also, there are instructions if you are on a mobile device, your phone or tablet, on how to add a photo to an album. That's how you're going to get entered into the drawing. There's going to be a separate drawing of 3. I had 2 items to draw. Sue donated another item. So, yeah. There will be 3 drawings for that. I don't know if I cut extra of these pieces or not. I guess I should start clipping and make sure. I don't remember cutting extra, but sometimes if I have fabric laying there, I might just cut. But I don't feel like I've sold as many of them as I need yet. We'll see in a minute, won't we? Well, I still got these, so I don't think I cut more of those. So we should be okay. Let's just keep sewing. And I only cut like 2 of each size out. Because I don't want a whole lot of the same pieces in here. So when I try to make a scrappy quilt, I try to make it as scrappy as I can without driving myself nuts. And that's because I might have 100 different African scraps, which is not a lot for me. So as I'm using fabric, then I create more scraps. But I haven't done anything yet other than quilt a few backings. Quilt a few quilts and get some extra fabric from the backing. So see how long I can sew with the flashing your threads almost out light. This one's a little short. I knew it, but I said we're going in here anyway. It was a scrap from the bag. So now it's no longer short. Same piece. It's about a 1/16 of an inch too short. Also, my mic might go out at some point tonight because I didn't charge it. It's supposed to be a 6-hour mic, but I find that they don't always last me. If I do Wednesday and Saturday on a mic that's not charged, so you may have to tell me when my mic go out. Judy Hebert's here saying hello, Tea and Quilters. Erlene says good night. She's got to go have fun, Erlene. Kathy says she's playing Bobbin Chicken. Well, I'm playing Bobbin Chicken, I guess. But this one will let me, it stops sewing. That's the one thing I love. It will stop. So I've done bobbin, what I call air sewing, and sewed a lot of seams together. I love this Bernina. This is the only machine I got that stops sewing when that bobbin is empty. Hi, Carla Ford, saying good evening to you and everybody. Jeff says, not like you haven't had electric issues this week. Right. Yep. I'm so glad to have some power back. And then I had the nerve to make pound cake for the person that came from out of town. He been coming to St. Louis every year, except for COVID when they stopped stuff. I think they missed 2 years of doing COVID, 2020 and 2021. They came last year, I think. And he been trying to get me to make pound cake. It's like, I'm not making any cake. I hardly make pound cake in the summer months just from cutting the oven on for so long. But I went on ahead and got the ingredients and made the cake. And then I went and dropped cake off. I gave him a cake. And then I gave my daughter and my niece, because they were there and they were pouting, looking all crazy. You know how they do. And so then I have a long loaf pan about this size. So I gave my daughter a piece and a chunk, like really 2 slices at least, could have been 3. And so then I say, okay, I'm going to go to my mom's house. I'm going to drop off 3 slices over there for my mom, because I'm trying not to have sweets in my house for my husband and I to eat or look at. And so I go to my mom's house and I'm in the car and I got the containers. I got everything set up so I can work from my car. Okay. Sanitizer, knife, the containers to put the cake in, everything. And I've cut 3 more big chunks off for my 2 brothers and my mom, put them into containers, and lo and behold, my niece pulls up. And she didn't get any other cake the last time I made cake. So I had only enough to give my husband and I a chunk of cake, about 2 slices. And lo and behold, I had to cut our cake in half. So my husband and I had the skinniest, all this cake I made, and we got the skinniest slices of the cake. Okay. I ate that cake down, ate it so fast, I don't remember even tasting that cake. Okay. It was so little. It's like, goodness, let's just get some of this mess out the way. All right, just wanted to get the weight from back there. It was a whole lot. All right. Sharon Lewis is here. Hey, Sharon. She says, T, I took your advice and bought 4 yards of fabric for the outer quilt borders for the illusion quilt I'm working on. I don't want to piece the border strips. Thank you. Normally 3 will do, unless you're making king size. So 3 yards is 108 inches long, but 4 yards is good too. Yeah, I don't tend to piece my outer border. So let me know how you like sewing it on and all of that. It doesn't stretch. Like sometimes you have some fullness coming in. If you've measured your quilt top and you still got fullness when you put your border on, sometimes length of grain borders will fix that too. So that's good. Maddie Barnum is here. Hey, Maddie. Don't forget we need cake for the retreat. Girl. Woo-wee. Y'all, I don't know. At the rate y'all was eating cake, child, I had to hire somebody to make the cake. I made that was a full sheet cake that I made, or I guess it's a half sheet. It's what your home can make. So I guess it's a half sheet cake if you're looking at it from a dairy. It's like 12 by, I don't know, 26 or something. And I think the big cakes are 26 by something, like 40. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long while since I had cake measurements. But for most home users or cooks, that's considered our full sheet cake, but it's not really a full sheet cake. However, that was 2 batters of cake mix. I had 2 KitchenAid mixers going at the same time to make that cake batter for that retreat cake. I don't like using that pan because I have to make 2 batters, and I don't like, unless I'm going to put a separator of some kind in the middle, like some kind of crumb separator of, like, say, cinnamon, nutmeg, whatever. You mix up butter. People put all kinds of stuff in the middle of the cake to do as a separator. Unless I do that, I don't like making one batter and then pouring that cake in and then starting over and making another batter. I want both of my batters to be done at the same time. So I don't see how I can make a bigger cake because I'm not getting 4 mixers. I got 2. One of them got the nerve to be trying to act like the motor going out. There we go. There we go. Threads out my bobbin. And I'm not going to clean it. I'm just going to switch it out and we're going to keep moving. Well, I didn't plan this very well. Oh, it's right here. See if I can get in here without taking the whole unit apart here. And Jason says, I'm sure that small slice of your homemade pound cake is a heck of a lot better than the gas station cake I'm going to have. It's something else. Okay, let's raise the presser foot here. And the needle. So we can get this out of here. Go away. I don't like stuff flashing at me. Folks, this is why we wound, like, when I wind bobbins, I fill up 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these are the Banana supersized bobbins. I can't even tell you, like, normally I can say I wound bobbins 2 weeks ago. This has been so long ago that I wound bobbins, I can't even tell you when last time I wound a bobbin. So when my bobbin runs out, I don't have to stop my sewing to do a bobbin. Wind plenty of bobbins in your neutral threads that you can use for piecing. Every once in a while, I may have to wind if I'm top stitching on something. But I love the fact that I don't have to stop. Wind all my bobbins at the same time, put them up, and then they're done, ready to go. Also, I do it for retreats. You don't want to be at retreat winding bobbins unless you have to, because you're from out of town. All right, we were able to do that without dismantling my top piece, so that was cool. I'm just gonna back up an inch and start back sewing and cut this thread because we don't like thread tails over here. All right. I was in the car and Get Big came on. I'm testing y'all. I want to know who still know how to do Get Big. Probably nobody, but you better figure it out. That is too funny. I was never so proud of you all. It had nothing to do with quilting that you all learned the dance. Oh my goodness. Now I got my comments now going in and out. And once that happened, it just continues for the rest of the night. And we're kind of early in here. Well, it's 8:43, but you know, on the first half. They talking to each other, but they cracking me up. Remo say the thumbs up don't match the number of people in the chat. Hit the thumbs up for me, please, if you haven't already. We're almost through this pile. I don't even know if I'm going to use my iron right now. I got it ready to go, but maybe I am just going to use my wood press and press with that this first thing. I don't know. Maybe I should go ahead and press it. It'll lay nice and flat and I don't have to worry about it being in the middle, right? Right. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. Hey, Sherry Willingham. She's making lives now. Go on, girl. Yeah, Shaquita was wanting me to teach some other dances, and I said, Shaquita, they don't have this, girl. I don't want to confuse them. But I'm thinking if I can get my act together, we'll see. I have to pick. I'm thinking about trying to pick 2 or 3 songs and then make like a little medley dance. Like we're going to go from one dance to the next. But then that means that I have to edit some music, and I haven't done that in such a long time. I probably have forgotten. I used to be, when I did my line dance stuff and we would do presentations, I used to have to make my own little sound piece to play because we would do different dances. And you don't do any of the dance all the way through. So we'll see how that's going to work. Oh, I was like, I got one more piece. It's laying right there, girl. Pick it up. Ooh wee. All right. Okay, I think I had just the right amount I needed. All right, so now we're going to press. Is this the first one I cut? So maybe. All right. I gotta cut this on. I wasn't planning on doing that. Just as conversation with an interesting person, my granny said. Lizette Zayas, hey there, T&T Quilters. Really happy to catch the live again. So hi, Lizette, welcome back. And Sharon says she's been looking at line dances, thinking about our retreat. I need to get ready. I looked at Dance Machine. I think of something easy, T. It will be 2 years older come retreat. Yeah. Well, all the, like, there are dances that stick, that become staples, like the Tamiya slide now is coming out in mainstream, although we did it 10 years ago. It is getting popular in mainstream, kind of like doing the electric slide. The Tamiya slide now is populating all over social media right now. So there are, I'm just going to basically just do some, we're just having fun, and it's a form of exercise. That's the main thing. That's what we're doing it for. That was a quick warm up. So we're just going to press these open. So there's always new dances coming out. Rhonda Barlow is here saying hello, as well as Wind Sprinter and Minnie Dula. Kevin says, I was just in DC for about 12 hours, Sharon, and thought of you and Paula. Janet Macros here saying good evening, T&T Quilters. It's my birthday. It's your birthday. It's magic. It's your birthday. So yes, October, I'm hoping that I can figure out what our bus route's gonna be and then get that submitted. I was trying to wait until retreat monies were paid so that I'm not using all my money for everything ahead of time and then getting reimbursed back. Just want to make sure I keep some of my disposable cash as well. Retreat payments are due at the end of every month from July through October. If you haven't contacted me and haven't don't make plans for your money, you got a chance of your spot being taken. So just so people know that. I don't think the people that are on my list, I got probably one or two that I may have to check. I haven't heard from one person whether or not they're gonna come and they haven't paid. And I have, if you've contacted me and I've said, okay, don't worry about it, your spot's there. But if you haven't contacted me and you haven't paid any money, retreat's going to be opened up in October to people that haven't paid their money. And it'll be a whole nother different payment plan, because if you're thinking about retreat, you need to be saving your money for retreat. Some people are paying theirs in one payment. Well, technically two, because they had a deposit. Some people are paying theirs just to get it out the way. So when I send out your retreat payments are due emails, they can ignore me. It just goes to everybody in my mailing group. My retreat mailing group. That way you make sure you get everything everybody else gets. People are saying happy birthday to Janet. You all are so nice. That's really sweet. We did birthday shout outs on Wednesday, Janet, if you haven't seen that video. Job interview Monday so I can afford next year. Laughing out loud. I hope it's a fun job. Jeff. All right. Still got this stack to do. Ooh, Sharon's going to be retiring as of June 3rd. That's nice. That's nice. I know before I retired, I had people that were retired telling me how bored they were. They wish they hadn't retired and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I have not ever had that thought cross my head. I have never regretted retirement, okay? Absolutely not. That's the best decision I ever made. It was the one I worried about the most, as far as I didn't realize you don't know if you're going to have enough money to keep your current lifestyle. Like, if you're retiring early like I did, I retired early. So I retired pre-62, pre-Social Security, all of that. And so I was concerned whether or not I would have enough money. But it's amazing to me how less money you actually spend being retired than actually being in the workforce. And I'm hoping that some people that are now working from home are experiencing that. There were so many things that were eating up my salary just from working. I also had like a 35-minute drive to work on a good day. And if it was a snow day, oh, that turned into, it could be 2 hours on the road each way. I hated it. 6 hours of my life on the road, 9 at work. And then I'm supposed to go home, cook dinner, really go to bed because that's all the time I got on a snow day. And start this process over again in the morning. It's like, no. It was the best decision I ever made. And I have more money in my pocket than when I worked. It's weird. Janet says, me too, T. Love being retired. Yes. Hi, gorgeous Rose. Oops, this one. Okay, the fabric just looks like it's crooked because of where it's cut in the print. I was like, that looks crooked. Looked like I had pressed a seam that wasn't fully open. Kevin, you spend less unless you go shop hopping or go to Paducah with friends. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I have those people. Sandy Aggers here says, love being retired. Right. Exactly. I am never going, you'll never hear me say I regret retiring. That is not something you're going to hear me say. Judy's love being retired as well. I feel I would never get to retire. That's Sue. Oh my goodness, girl. Ooh, wee. That was one of the reasons why I stayed at the state, and because I had already been there like 15 years when I decided it was time for me to go. And then it was like, girl, when I thought I was going to leave, they ended up offering me a different job. That particular job wasn't enough money for me to stay. So I went and talked to the director, called them superintendents at the time. I went and talked to him about it. I said, I really appreciate you all offering me a new job with more pay, but that's not going to be enough to sustain some of the expenses that I've acquired. And he was like, okay, I'll take care of that. And he went over, I don't know what he did. He must have called HR, because with the state, they have like a step system where they have to, if you're going from one job to the next, there's like a maximum that they can give you. So what they did was they terminated my employment for a day. I got paid, and then they rehired me the next day. Okay. So they can do some things. You just got to be able to trust them, because when you're getting terminated, it doesn't quite feel good. Like, okay, I have no job, and I don't have a job backed up right now. But you know, he went and did what he had to do. So I got terminated for a day out of my old position and rehired the next day into my new position. But the good thing was, at that time I was they had combined. I was working in our what we call staff development, which also did staff training, not necessarily on computers, but staff training. Um and so I didn't have to go back through orientation because I was the orientation department. And guess who does all the paperwork for uh, new hirees? I type it all, so I already know all that stuff. So I didn't have to go back through orientation, even though I had started in a new position. So yeah, I just signed some sheets like I was attending. It's like, we'll do whatever you need to do, but I just need more money. And he figured it out. I was like, okay. So when people go out of their way because you're a good employee to get you what you need to stay, that's why I stayed with the state. Even still, the money that they gave me, I could have made more money elsewhere doing that, but I wouldn't have had those benefits. At the time I was doing that, private industry was getting rid of a lot of their pension plans. So yeah, I was happy about that. I just want to get the one on here off so I can press it. So all right, get this off. That's why I stayed at the state, because at that point I said, oh, these people will go to bat for me because I'm a good employee. You may as well stay somewhere where you're, as respected as you're going to be. I don't run anything, but I at least know that administration knows who I am. Rhonda says, I got 23 months to retire, and I am so looking forward to retiring from my current job. Yes, my last 2 years were my hardest. My longest and hardest. People realize that I work with, people have been telling me for years, when you leave, I'm going to retire. I'm not, they couldn't retire. They were going to quit. And I'm like, because they're younger than me. I'm like, you can't quit your job. They're just talking crap because people need their money. Who's going to quit a job just because I'm leaving? Who am I? Lo and behold, 2 people quit about 3 months before. One of them went on maternity leave like January of the year, never came back, took her whole 3 months maternity leave, and then quit from that, never came back and worked a day. And then the other girl, about a month before I left, took a job in Chicago, like totally left the state. Okay, it's like, oh no, this is not gonna work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 13, 14, 14. 1, 2. Did I use a piece twice? I'm trying not. I know I got just a couple of pieces that I've used twice. All right. So I've got these pieces here. I'm going to make the top and bottom rows. So all they get is a square. I'm going to sew a square onto either side of this unit. That's what I'm going to do. Enough for top and bottom of all my blocks. I normally have one up here. These are the duplicates. I want to put in a different spot. Okay, so we're just going to run these through. So instead of me making blocks this time, I'm just going to go ahead and do my normal chain piecing. Sometimes I will make a block, and just to show you all, I've already shown you all the block. So we're just going to sew units together just to make this go faster instead of setting up. Because I've used so many different fabrics. It doesn't matter to me what fabric is where. I'm just sewing my units. That's the joy of using a lot of different fabrics. I only have to worry about, say, my last 3 blocks I might lay out just to make sure that none of my seams are touching. And Janet says, instead of buying clothes and gas, which is 2 of your major big expenses when you're working, and she says, I buy fabrics. Right, exactly. Nikki has only got 1 year and 4 months until she can retire, so that's awesome. Congratulations on getting close. Sorry, I got lost in your store. That's Teresa. Oh my goodness. Mm-mm. Okay. I had forgot that I texted my daughter earlier, and then I forgot to look and see what her response was. So Teresa reminded me. Um, Sorry I got lost in your store. Will the shirt you're wearing be an official Teaquilts shirt for retreat? Nope. It's got to say Teaquilts on it. Last year I went ahead and, because you all weren't aware, I went ahead and gave leniency for people that had other shirts that I had made, but technically Teaquilt shirt. Sherry's going laughing out loud. Pull some of this down. So long as I'm not sewing the same fabric to itself, I'm okay. Hi, Darcy Savali. Been wondering where you were, ma'am. Whenever you're not here, I get worried because she's the first one in here. So hopefully everything is good. This little piece is just really crooked or something. Something got a little cattywampus. This is that same piece of fabric that I thought pressed crooked. It's laying here crooked too. Something's up with that. But we're gonna make it work. This is almost the same. Well, I'm gonna sew it. Don't be picky, Teajuana. It's like almost the same color family, and I was like, don't sew it together, but it's like, why not? Don't have to be picky. It's all going to work out in the end. As long as UPS, FedEx, and Amazon has my address, I can't retire. They're not the problem. It's the store, girl. They just doing what they've been told. That is too funny. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I put one of these. Oh, I got 2 of these squares, and I don't remember cutting 3 of anything. I must have been running out toward the end. So now, oh shucks. Okay. I thought I had taken out. I guess I did not. Oh, they're down here. Yes, I did. I wanted squares for my block number 2 to be pre-cut. So now I'm trying to see if I see a duplicate of one of these blocks. I want to make sure I have one over here, and I don't. So I'm going to switch it out, because that's one of my favorite fabrics, and I want it in the center of a star. All right. All right. Back to sewing. Um, that one I got fits nice. I don't know what Jeff is saying. Good night, Jeff. Denny says good night. I don't know what he's talking about. Darcy says I got 4 sections of my boho heart ready. I have to sew them together to make the 4th row. Then I can add it onto my other 3rd, and my top will be done. That is awesome. So she's getting hers completed too. She played catch up, and then I think she burned herself out on the catch up a couple months ago. And she's back at it. So good. Getting them done. Okay, let me cut the iron back on. We got about 3 or 4 more to go. 3 or 4 more to go. I did get to add in a couple of new prints. I added in some purple solid. I took that down. I forgot my African piece is not hanging up there. Jean Green says, I finally finished my commission quilt and mailed it off to South Carolina. She is loving the African prints I use. So that's awesome. Yep. I'm trying to get this one. I was trying to get this one pieced by the end of the month. Losing power last week kind of hindered all of that. So we'll see where I can get to. We're going to be needing these again. So I'm going to put them up here. I'm not pressing any of these seams open. I'm going to be pressing everything to the sides. It's not necessary to press seams open on this. All right. We're getting stuff done tonight. All right. So I pressed all of these seams towards the two-piece unit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press all of my seams towards this unit, the two-piece unit, instead of the square. So I'm not pressing it toward the square. And that's because of the other block. It's going to be pressed away. Is it away? Hold on. Let me make sure. This is pressed toward the center. And I must have turned this other block. Let's see. These are pressed away from center. Let's make sure. I got to turn it back right. Yeah, these are away from center. And then this row is pressed out, but these are pressed in. So it's weird. Put my pins back in so I don't lose my positioning. You all aren't talking much tonight. So y'all haven't told me, some of you all haven't told me what you're working on. So let's get those done. What are you doing? Anybody sewing Brightly quilt? Let me know that as well. A lot of people wanted to do it. Mona's doing the block swap block, so that's cool. Jean says she's sewing the Brightly quilt, so that's cool. Got one. I know a lot of people wanted to do it last year and didn't get them started. So that's cool. Benita says she's doing 100 days, 100 blocks with 7 days behind, 2 more blocks to go. So that's cool. I think she's done that almost every year, or at least 3 years that I'm aware of, I think. I wish I'd joined early. I keep forgetting to do that. Betsy says, I am working on Kansas summer sew along. Then I can get back to the boho heart. Vivian says she's sewing Brightly, so that's cool. Maddie says, I bought the pattern. That's half of it. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Sue says, plan to cut out Brightly tomorrow, then long arm a quilt for my brother. So that's cool. I've been doing orders. Now I need to make a pattern. I've been trying to get to long arm quilting. Haven't gotten to that yet with all the other stuff. And then I'm looking up and missing a whole pattern. Mona says she's off to bed. Good night, Mona. Thank you so much. Vanessa's working on setting up a customer quilt to long arm, so that's cool. Remo got the pattern. She's a once she starts something, she gets it done. So I'm not even worried about Remo. She gets it done. Melody says she's collecting fabric to make 22 quilts for grandkids. Oh my gosh. Don't collect as much fabric as you think, because if you can make some out of Scrappy, the scraps from some of the previous ones. So don't go buying a whole lot if you ain't got a stash. Zandra is, let's see, I'm making a quilt for a cancer patient. I had to put the boho heart on hold until I finish this. I'm trying to quilt on my her brother's sewing machine, and I don't like the way that it is coming out. I tell people, I don't know what type of quilting you're doing, if you're doing straight line quilting or if you're trying to do free motion quilting, but sometimes just feed dogs up basic stitching, not necessarily in the ditch, but with the wavy stitch, one of your decorative stitches. I use the serpentine stitch, and it's just as pretty as trying to outline stitch stuff. And you can just go one direction. You don't even have to go both directions, so you don't have to worry about going back across. Especially when you're trying to do something to get it done fast and give it away. I've seen a couple of these pieces have the back side showing, but you'll never know when it's pieced. So I'm not going to point them out to you. Okay, we got 2 more to go. I got enough heat, it's just not steam, and that's okay. I didn't want to press these in the first place with the heated iron. I was going to try to ignore it. All right. Sue is reminding people to hit the thumbs up button, so thank you, Miss Sue. And Shaquita is working on improv triangle blocks for a swap, so that's cool. Janet says, I made a brightly quilt, done mine in plaids with bone background. Working on binding tonight on a baby quilt for next great granddaughter, due in September. Girl, you own it. I haven't even made, I keep saying I haven't made my grandbaby a quilt, but so many of you all have made stuff that wasn't critical for me to do that. Kevin and I actually worked on a project together. The elephant quilt that Kevin pieced, I did the quilting, did the backing and the batting, and then I gave it back to Kevin so he could do the binding and the label. So it was like a co-project. Also, I have a quilt top that one of my guild members gave me to give to her. I also have a quilt top that my friend had in her stash that passed away in 2021. Was it 2022? 2022. And so I was going to do that as well. So I quilted it, but I don't have any binding on it. So, all right. So this is what I have. All my units like this. And so now it's time for me to just sew a square on this opposite side here. So yeah, this is my second time doing this brightly. I don't really like doing like patterns that are like lots of pieces or a lot of cutting. I don't really like doing them twice. And this would be one of them. I did not want to do this twice. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, though. I have to say that. But I'll do some very easy quilts again and again, but I don't tend to like to do a whole lot of cutting again and again. And the main reason I didn't want to do it because I had, like I told you all, I sold her kit thinking I wasn't going to do it. And then I had to recut it all out. And it didn't even go bad. I actually just sat down, watched television, and cut these pieces out. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let's see what other people are working on. I'm missing some stuff. Shirley says that I am working on a Piccadilly Circus by Joe's Country Junction, all scrap. So that's cool. I think I saw that and thought about doing that, and then I was backed out at the last because I found it late, and then it was like I don't have time to try to get this together. I just saw it like I thought like within the last 2 weeks or something. Joe Carmel saying brightly is her next UFO. Okay, Joe. She just keeping it real. It's my next UFO. Joe pieces stuff fast too, though. Tamar is working on the 4th section of Boho Hearts, so that's cool. See, I didn't know all these people were working on Boho Hearts because they haven't been really. Some of them haven't been posting, so it's good to see what you all are working on. And Zandra, I don't know what this speech the right is saying, but I was just saying I have to take everything loose that I've done and try what you suggested. Is something not working, Zandra, that you're going to take it apart? Because if it's working, there's no need to take it apart. Jason is laughing at Joe. Vivian saying good night. Good night, Vivian. See you next time. See you on Wednesday. Darcy says, I am probably going to quilt my boho hearts on my brother. It's large and will probably cost a lot to have someone else do it. Your boho heart could be quilted for about $200 by somebody else. To me, that's not expensive. If you know you're picking a simple design, not custom quilted, and then it's going to be quilted nicely. And considering how much fabric you put into the quilt top, to me, paying $200 to have a quilt quilted isn't bad. And I don't think it's going to cost. It depends on how much they charge in your area. I don't think it'll cost $200. Might be around $150, something like that. Doo-doo. We sewing over here. It's 9:26. I still got half hour. Oops, that's the same fabric. One time it comes up. Out of all this time I've been sewing, I finally see the same fabric. Just put it with the next piece, girl. Hi, June Hanson. Darcy's reminding people that if you're getting ready to leave, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. So thank you for the reminder, Darcy. June is making churn dash blocks for a block swap, so that's cool. Awesome, awesome. Um, Zanja was trying to do triangles inside of a half square triangle, and the lines are not coming out straight. I was trying to do triangles inside of a half square triangles, and the lines are not coming out. Okay. So she's not doing brightly. I thought she was talking about she had to take brightly apart. Okay. Sometimes it could be the cutting. Sometimes it can be you're not using a 1/4 inch seam. So make sure before you take all of them out that you check some to see if the seam allowance is a 1/4 inch. Use one of your rulers. And then once you take some pieces out, also check to make sure that they're cut correct. Makes a big difference. Betsy says, I have a question. If you were going to hang a quilt in a window to block the sun, what would you put on the backing? Right now, this quilt that I have up here it's going to be destroyed. It's already light up here. I would see if I could get some of the sun blocking material and see if I could put inside or put on the back of the quilt. I would do something like that. If it's a material that can be stitched through. Because this quilt was done a long time ago, and when I take it down and wash it, it's going to fade a little bit more. I've been trying to figure out what quilt I want to put up here, but I think I probably need to just make a quilt and do the right thing so that I don't damage another quilt. However, I've had this is one of the quilts I made in my earlier years of quilting. I do love it because it's got the old-fashioned batting that you had to quilt 1/4 inch apart or it would bunch up. And I do like the texture and feel of it once it was washed. But yeah, I would look into seeing what could be put in the middle to help with the sun or as a backing to help with sun blocking, like when you get sun blocking curtains. Even curtains, if it's big enough, might work. Okay, got to turn you around. For some reason, this one was turned the wrong way. It actually is the same fabric in a different section, and it's starting to run into each other, so I'm going to switch that one. I don't normally switch too often. It doesn't look like the same fabric, but I know it is. The pattern is meshing, so we're going to put it here instead. My screen's popping in and out again. So I'll be looking into that for myself. I need to do something. I'm going to wash this quilt and probably not use it anymore when I do take it down. Okay. We're getting there. T, what are the size of your strips? What strips? On this Brightly quilt, if you want the measurements for Brightly, there's a pattern. There's 2 ways you can get it. A pattern by Cluck Sew called Brightly. Or you can go to Missouri Star Quilt Company and watch their video where they're giving out the instructions. I don't give out cut sizes to patterns. If you want to know the cut size of my rectangles, then you can sew 2 squares together from the pattern and then measure that to see what size that is. I'm not going to give that either. Let's see. Should have at least 14. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yay! 14. Look like I got 15. All right, but at least I got 14 for sure. I could have dropped it out the middle. All right, so we just need to press these. So I'll show you, I'll press one, and then we're going to put the rest of this stack aside so we can keep sewing. I can press off camera. And again, I'm pressing these towards the 2-piece strips that I have. And my strips are also the same size as in the pattern. I haven't changed anything. For the person that was asking what's my strip size, they use 2 squares instead of the prints, but then you've got a background strip rectangle that they tell you to cut. It's the same size as the rectangle for the background, my prints. So you don't need any measurements from me right now. Well, period. All right, I didn't cut the iron on. So I got one piece here that I need to press. And so a square, I forgot to take that off. Joe Cormel, is there still a Zoom tomorrow night? Eric posted in the group that he was going to have Zoom tomorrow night. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what that means for you in Pacific Time. Jean, do you use color catchers when washing your multicolored print quilts? I use color catchers when I'm washing a quilt that's for the first time or two that is red or something like that. Or if it's a digital print, because digital prints have been known to run, then I'll use a color catcher sheet. But I don't use it after 2 washes at the most for me. I don't use them anymore. On if I was washing this quilt, I wouldn't use a color catcher at all. I just put it in the wash and let it go. And it's because I'm not using a white background or a light background. So any color run that's going to run into this grunge fabric, it's not going to make much difference. So I'm not going to use a color catcher on the African quilt here. I'm just going to wash it. I am going to get a quilt together and wash it with the African print so that I can report back to you all on that. I also plan to do that. I just haven't had time yet. I've had my whole schedule has been just messed up by a Quilt Guild program chairperson, okay? And I am not able to do what I need to do because I'm running around trying to catch somebody else's mistakes. So I'm not able to do what I need to do. I was planning on doing some things because this program was supposed to be in August. And I had time that I had set aside to work on some particular things, and I'm not going to have time to do that. And then now that my whole July is messed up because of this, I got to play catch up now. Joe says, T, I like how you tweak the pattern to reduce the number of seams. Yes, girl, you better do it. And like I said, when I did it the first time, I actually did every seam. But this time I was like, I'm not doing that. She ain't gonna even know. It's the same end result. It's just 2 pieces of fabric. And I'm like, what's the point? So I need to just sew a square on here. And that's why I had an extra square. And then I'm going to just take one piece so that I can get this piece off. And then I'll show you what I just sewed. And I'll press this whole stack later. No need to press on camera, just press one. But I got everything sewn. So this here is what I just made. All the units I need for my quilt top. And now these are going to be my top and bottom row. So it's going to be on the top like this. And then down on the bottom, it'll sit like this. And so now I'm about to make my middle row. So this is my block again. This is what we're working on. Now I'm about to sew these center units together. And I think I have just enough time to get all of these sewed while I'm on the chat. So I don't have to do any counting because I already know I got the right number of blocks. So I just need to do some sewing. I don't have to count this time. All right. So I'm gonna get this next step done. And then we'll be ready to sew rows together next week. Yeah. These are some pretty fabrics. I am just in love with my African prints. Diane says, okay, thanks. Yeah. I just try because I write patterns and I try not to give people's measurements to stuff when I'm making it. If it's a for purchase pattern. But Missouri Star has a video where they give you the dimensions of everything to cut. Hey, Claudette Bettis. Welcome to the chat, girl. You must have been out having fun. And hi, Connie. Welcome to the chat. All right. We're almost finished. We only got a couple more to go. Maybe 3. You don't know how many fabrics are stacked there until you, well, maybe 4 until you touch the stack. It looked like 2. I touched it and it grew. All right. Getting close. Then we'll press these seams again towards the piece unit, not the square. And move to the next step of sewing that 2-piece unit to the other side of the square. All right, so let's get this off so we can press. My number works out correct. And I'm going to take this stack up here. And we're going to press these all towards the unit, but I'm going to sew this one to get this one off my machine. Oops, I didn't press that really good. Well, that was a seam from before. Love the green background. Is this the quilt you were talking about, Missouri Store Quilt Company, or that you have for sale? This is the one that Missouri Store Quilt Company did a video and put the cutting thing measurements out, but it is a for sale pattern by Cluck Cluck Sew. That's called Brightly. So yes to your question. No, I don't sell the pattern. I don't sell the pattern because I didn't want to buy patterns, and if they didn't get sold because the instructions was already there, I mean the cut instructions were there, I didn't want to buy the pattern. So the people that have bought the pattern have bought them on their own. It's actually not so bad making a quilt, this quilt twice as I'm working on it. I just didn't want to. Woo. Hello, Betty Harris. Welcome to the chat. And also for people that are asking about what the cut instructions are, I changed mine up this time. I changed mine up a little bit last time, but so this one's a little different than the one I made before. I do take artistic liberties of changing patterns if I want to. And I definitely did that here. So my quilt may not look exactly like what the pattern is telling you, but it's the same process. All right, we got all of those. I just need to sew the two-piece unit onto the other side. So this is what I have, a two-piece unit, a square. I need another two-piece unit over here. This block's not going to look like much, but what it's doing is that it's a chaining block, is what its purpose is. It's connecting, making a pattern between this block and the next block we'll be making. So we actually got all of our little units sewed together. That's a plus for sewing on a live chat. That's pretty good. Before the 2 hours are up. Sometimes when I'm trying to get to a certain spot in a quilt, I have to sew a little longer or come back after I get off the live. But this time we're doing it. Getting it done. All I got to do off camera is probably some pressing. I might have time to do my pressing. Who knows? Trying to get this in the center. So I started with the easiest block first for us to get started. Connie says, okay, I saw you hold a pattern up the other night. That pattern is this quilt back here. This is a third layout. of the trip around the scrap basket pattern. That's totally different than this. I've already sewn that. I had a Zoom class with that one. And after Zoom class, I had so many people wanting the pattern that I made a pattern. And that pattern is available at teaquilts.com. And then you click on products, and then under products is a folder for patterns. That's where that is on my website. Or you can just type www.teaquilts.com/patterns, and it'll take you directly to that page. How come I'm short? Two-piece units. Okay, so let's cut these apart. I'm short two-piece units. I want to make sure I got everything on here right. Yeah, all of these. So I don't know. Two-piece units. Oh, they're up here. The ones I put on top of the bucket. Okay. I'm like, I thought I counted everything. It's too funny. Oh my goodness. When I don't sleep, like when I stay up anyway till 5 o'clock doing stuff, and then I know I got something to do the next day and I get up early, I get like 2 or 3 hours worth of sleep. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. That is too funny. I'm like, I'm short 2 pieces. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut this because we're going to be cutting this off. That's the only time I actually break my thread is at the end. I always chain piece something. And we got 10 minutes. I'll press these. So thank you, Connie. She said, regardless, it's going to be stunning when you finish. So this is a different quilt. So Sherry says, okay, gotta check out, y'all. Good night. So she's saying good night, Sherry. Bonita, is there another class coming up? Not that I'm aware of. My iPad will only let me be on Zoom for, I was trying to do a 5-hour class. I think it started acting up about the 3rd hour. So I don't know. I can read on my iPad for 10 hours. So I don't understand why. I don't think it's a battery issue. So I'm going to have to look into that because I was losing power. I may have to do it on my laptop, but then I have nowhere to put a laptop here. That's my problem. Putting a laptop up here, it's like, where are you going? Put this back on for a second. So while we're waiting on the iron to heat up, so I've been sewing my middle units now. So this is what I just sewed together. So this is my middle row. This is my top and bottom row. So it doesn't look like much, but it's one of those blocks that's supporting the main block. So I'll straighten these out later. So we'll put that over there and we're just going to continue to press. Rose says the green background on your blocks is beautiful. Thank you. I keep seeing this fabric that's on the wrong side. It keeps popping up. And it's because I know it's on the wrong side. Oh my goodness. For some reason, I'm thinking it's later this year. And Rose, how about we need another class? Y'all something else. We can do another one of my classes. I have Scrappy 3D Stars. Maybe we can do that. And Carla's saying it too. Y'all all in here. Yes, another class is needed. I didn't get to do the last one. You just need to get sewing, buddy. You got your pattern. You're ready to go now. And it's a quick sew, Kevin. Kevin's piece is fast too. All right, so this stack here, I just pressed the one, and we've got enough time now that I can go back and press these. And everything is getting pressed towards the two-piece unit for me. I don't know what the pattern is telling you. I do my own thing. I just do it. So I'm gonna take this down, put this up here. So I got quite a few of these to do. I do keep my iPad plugged in. That's what I don't understand. I had it plugged in the whole time. So I'll try it again. I don't like when stuff don't go right and I'm teaching. I just like for stuff to go smoothly. I appreciate you all understanding. But I don't like it as a teacher when stuff doesn't go right. First of all, Zoom messed up and I thought it was me where it wouldn't let me focus in on when I was trying to show parts of the pattern. It wouldn't even do that. So Zoom, I had to reboot, make somebody else the coordinator of my live Zoom while I go and reboot everything. And it was basically Zoom that time. And then my computer didn't have enough memory. So we'll try it one more time. I've noticed I'm going to watch it. See, when I'm on with Eric, I'm not the moderator. So I'm going to check tomorrow and see how many hours. I think I've been able to stay on with that one. So it's still weird. It must be a moderator thing. We'll try it one more time, guys. But yeah, something's weird with the iPad. When I was moderating. So, let's see. Kevin, did y'all hear the angels sing Boho Heart is a top? Woohoo! Posting pitch in Facebook group. Right. Congratulations, sir. Remo's putting hers in Thursday. But I didn't get to play and sew with the others and give you a hard time, Miss T. You're not going to give me a hard time, Kevin. You're going to get put out. Somebody give me a hard time. You're going to get kicked out of the group. Carla's almost done with hers. Me too. I want another class. That's Joe Carmel. Remo says could be charger. Yeah, I'm going to check all of that. I'm going to order. I've been saying I was going to order a new iPhone charger. I need to do that. I keep forgetting. That's the only device that I have. I have plenty of Samsung stuff around here, or for the Android phone. But I need to order more and have backup for my iPad. I don't have backup stuff for my iPad like I should. So I need to order. And then I want a quick charge, and then I want one that has a longer cord. I don't want that little 3-foot cord they put in. So I need to do that. It would be fun. Yes, Kevin, we missed you. And Kevin laughing at me, I'm gonna kick him out. Carla says working on her borders now, so that's pretty cool. And they've been posting some pretty quilts over in that Facebook group. That was the pattern trip around the scrap baskets, what they're talking about from the Zoom class. So yeah, it was fun. It was different. It was my first time doing that. And I did it, it's kind of weird. It felt weird for me because I did it like I would if I was teaching in class, except that I couldn't touch anything, which was a little frustrating. I couldn't do like hands-on hand help with people that were having some issues. And some people made some mistakes, and some of those mistakes are really nice. It's like, wow. Had a couple people to do something different, and the blocks look totally different. I don't know how they did it. I asked for pictures in an email because they sent me a picture in an email, and I still can't figure out how they got these blocks to look how they look. It's like they did two opposite blocks and put them together or something. So it was kind of weird. But I like the end result of it. It gives the pattern another whole nother dimension. So this might be something when somebody says, Teajuana, won't you want to teach a class? And I'm going to teach this class because there's so many different quilt possibilities that can come out of it. So, Joe Carmel, you something else. She's talking to Kevin. I normally don't read those comments. He talking about, congratulations, Romy. I will send you my blocks and background, and I need you to complete sections 2, 3, and 4 by Friday. Pretty please. Oh, that is funny. Benita says I'm still tripping. Laughing out loud. No problems. Anything for you, comes back Kevin. Uh-huh. That is too funny. Joe's quilt's gonna be pretty when she get it done. Judy saying good night to everybody. It's 10 o'clock, y'all. I only got less than 6 more pieces to press. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll wrap up if I'm this close. So thanks, Judy, for being my time clock, so I won't be on here till 11 because they'll let me stay on here. They're working, so they don't care. They want the company. I only got 2. I thought I had more. It's just 2. Okay, last one here. And my pieces are now ready for my units to be sewn into rows. So ready to go. 1 stack, 2nd stack, ready to go. Ready for our next sewing session. Or you know what, I might, so you are gonna have homework because I'm trying to get this piece. That's why I quit working on my chisel project. I'm trying to get this piece by the end of the month. Trying to still stay on schedule with this quilt, although I'm missing a week. So since we're having Zoom tomorrow, I might start sewing these into a 9-patch block. So I'm going to be sewing. This is my 1 unit, top and bottom row. This is the center section here. So I might start sewing these in Zoom. So you're all going to have some homework to do. I know some of you all are going to sew more than 2 hours a week on this anyway, and going to be ahead of me. So go ahead and make this block, because I've shown you, I've sat here and sewing these rows together. Everybody knows how to sew 3 rows of your blocks together. I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin in here because it's gonna be up here while my fan's on. It blows stuff off too. Then I want to talk about the second block that maybe we'll work on next week. I've already done some homework since I missed last week, and I know I got to get this completed. What I've done is I've already made this particular unit here. I only kept 4 of these out, this particular unit with these star points on it. I've done all but 1 block. So I have 4 of these left that I'm going to start sewing next week. So I'll only be sewing 4 of those on camera. So I've already done that. When I came on Wednesday, I made this block unit here. I made it for half of my block. So what I'm going to be working on Saturday is the last 4 of these, making these, and then we might be sewing this block into rows as well. So yeah, we're going to be moving fast on this because I kind of missed a week. So I've already done homework myself. So just know that I'm going to be starting on this block. So you need to have your first block, which is the easiest block, done this week. It's very simple. Y'all saw me sit here and sew. I didn't have any of this sewed together, and I've got all of my row units made in 2 hours. Zoom tomorrow, we have it. We're on there for hours. I'll probably end up getting this sewed into all the blocks that I need for the quilt top on the Zoom, and still have some time to have fun on the Zoom. So this block goes together very, very fast. The second block with the start points is going to take a little bit more time, but it's all doable. So we'll do probably 2 weeks on the star block, and then just this 1 week on this block. So get your 9 patch blocks made up. See what people are saying before we get out of here. See, Judy up here talking about, you can stay, my back needs to rest. See, Kevin says you can stay, Miss T, we love you. See, they're not gonna help me get off of here. It was just Judy saying good night. That reminded me to look at the clock when she said good night. Joe Carmel saying, oh, she's talking to Kevin. Yeah. Kevin says, I would come out and tag team so with you, Roomy, laughing out loud. Good night from Zandra. Good night from Melody. All right. So that's pretty cool. So that's going to be it for today. We'll be back Wednesday. I have no idea what I'm doing on Wednesday. Just showing up at this point. I didn't even think about a topic for Wednesday. So let's see. I have to do that. I have to make all of my, I'll make 2 chats. I've been making them from my desktop. I find that that's keeping a lot of the spamming out. Let me see if I can go back to the top. It doesn't say it up on the top. But the spam posts have been minimized since I've been setting them up from my desktop. So I kind of like that. It just means that they won't get up early like I like them to all the time. But I'm trying to get to, whenever I'm at my desktop this week, I got to type a pattern at some point this week. So hopefully when I'm there, I'll remember to set up my Zooms for this week. Everybody's saying good night. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing else in chat coming up. So that's going to be it, guys. You all stay blessed, be safe, and quilt out. Good night.